Hi everybody! Today I want to talk about something that's really fun. When I was in grad school in the late 80s, I studied with the great drummer Adam Nussbaum. I love Adam so much. He continues to be such a inspiration to me today. Every time I see him play, I'm like, oh man, you can do that on the drums? He's constantly amazing and just always refreshing and just swings so hard, and I love him dearly. And one of the great takeaways from my lessons with him is to look at the drum set instead of just like a bunch of drums that you hit. That sounds so simplistic, but this is a true story. He inspired me to think about the drums as just an endless instrument for just sound and color and beauty and things that are subtle, combined with all the stuff that we like to do with our chops and all that. So as Adam and I worked on those concepts, just viewing the drum set as like basically a full symphony of sound, and how to find and uncover and reveal some of those sounds became kind of a passion of mine. And so looking at some hand drum techniques, some timbali techniques, and just some other world cultural influences and percussion instruments, like we all do. I've tried to apply some of those things to the drum set. Actually, from some classical repertoire too, classical snare drum repertoire. So I'm just going to show you a few fun things I like to play all the time, and I do play them quite frequently because I love them, and I do them often during Brazilian kind of tunes, Afro-Cuban tunes, more so than straight ahead swing tunes, but I would use them on a swing tune too occasionally. So I know that everybody has their version of these things, no doubt. This is just the way I'm showing them to you because this is how I've developed them and learned them and how they work for me. So anyway, there's loads of information about this kind of thing. I am just going to use, this is not hand technique. I'm not going to use my hands on the drums. Maybe I'll save that for another day. But this is just using my sticks in my hands, not in the traditional snare drum playing kind of mode. But my snares are off, just so you can hear the clarity of what I'm doing with my sticks. So there's about let's see, one, two, three, four, five things I want to show you today. One is the simple. Everybody does a rim click or pop or whatever you like to call it. Stick grip like this, kind of the heel of your hand, with light pressure in the center of the drum. My arm is just resting on the drum. So that's one sound we're all familiar with. And if you move your stick up and down the drum in any direction, you get a whole bunch of different tones and pitches. Actually, I love that. That to me, if you're playing a bossa nova or samba or some Afro-Cuban music and use these different tones in your stick, I think that's super cool. And the pressure that's created when you move the heel of your hand lightly up the drum, slightly, it raises the tone of the drum when you go towards the rim, lowers it when you go back towards the center. So that's neat. And again, if these things, many of you probably already know this stuff and do this stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like sharing some stuff. So anyhow, so that's one thing. The second thing, while your hand is resting in that position, in the click position, simply take your other hand and hit the drum head. All right, so. So a whole bunch of different sounds and color, just moving my stick up and down the rim, on the rim. I don't know if again, rim click, rim shot, rim pop, whatever you want to call it. And just play a pattern. Here's some paradiddles on the drum head. Very cool. Now you can also take your right stick and you can hit the stick that's hitting the rim. So that's rim click, and then hit the stick while it's down, or while it's up, or while it's down. Two different sounds. The rim is in the click position, resting on the rim, and I'm just hitting the stick. So now just using those things I mentioned, the rim pop, playing on the head, and then playing on the stick, like check this out. also, in that same kind of pattern, very simple, again, just remind you, rim click, playing on the head, and playing on the stick itself. Or you can hit it when it's up too. Now we also have the ability to play on the rim, or the option to play on the rim. A drummer is for all eternity. I've been playing really cool stuff on the rim. That's not new. And so anyway, it's not new material. It's just hopefully some of this might be interesting to you to explore creating your own patterns. So all right, so we have the rim, the head, the stick. Rim pop, click, head, stick, and the actual rim itself. So check this out now. Head, click, stick, rim. I like those sounds. I use them a lot. Of course, when you have your whole drum set set up, there's you can flam between the rim of the high tom into your snare, get a whole bunch of old like rumba patterns. Anyway, it's kind of endless what you can do. But those are a few sounds and colors I explored in my life, and I'm still exploring them constantly. And you know what? Let me show you one more thing that I actually like a lot. I like to do this on all the drums, and I even like to do it with my stick resting on the heads of the snare drum and the floor tom simultaneously. If your drum set is set up like that, you can try this. But I know that probably most of you are familiar with this technique of this. Just getting the stick to bounce on the head that way. But if you take your stick and put it flat on the head, now I have one end, the butt end is to my right, the beat end is on the rim, the beat end is on the head, and again I'm in that position where my hand is just resting over the stick, and I'm just gonna play a rhythm on my stick and let it bounce freely, but you're gonna get the head sound, and you're gonna get the rim sound, and you're gonna get the stick sound. So check this out. Too. That's a fun one. It sounds really good on the toms, but I thought I would just do this on one drum, hopefully so you could see it clearly enough. But anyway, that's a very simple way to play the snare drum. I mean, I'm pretty convinced that anyone that applies any of those techniques can create a really interesting, musical, unexpected solo that doesn't have a lot to do with, showing the extent of our, not necessarily a official drum technique, but using other more world percussion approaches. And like I said, a little bit of hand technique, a little bit of timbali technique, but just trying to find beautiful sound and color in your instrument. Again, maybe I'll delve into some hand techniques, and of course, don't forget you can always play on your lugs and on your shells. There's lots to do. You can play on the bottom of the drum. You can scrape your snares, and this is not a substitute for learning everything you need to learn on the drum set. Officially, the traditional material we all need to learn, but if you can find sound, color, texture, beauty, again, my mantra is as long as you're doing something that allows you to express the music that's in your heart and in your mind and in your soul, that's all that matters most. So anyway, again, we got the head, we got the click, we got playing on the stick, we got the rim. That is interesting. If you guys want to talk about any of this stuff, please call me or email me. I'm all ears, and boy, I have a lot of free time, so it'd be fun to chat with some people. So all right, take care everybody, and stay safe and stay sane.